Alright. Red-White Lockout in Modern. This is a list we recently played and recently put up on YouTube, so if you haven't checked that one out, go check it out. YouTube link will be provided for the Twitch folks right now. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you're here. What do we have? So this one's been slightly adjusted. Zarukai has been taking this and tweeting up a storm on the Twitter universe there. And essentially, this is what he's come up to so far. We have a few things that have disappeared from the main board and have ended up either in the sideboard or no longer are here. But we have a few additions that I kind of like, and hey, I'm ready to go ahead and give these all a try. So there's 22 lands here. I think you could safely bump that to 23, personally. It's interesting not to have a single plains necessarily because of the possibility of being Blood Moon, although I don't think many people will bring Blood Moon in against us. All that being said, though, 22 lands trying to hit to about 4 through land destruction spells, possibly ones that blow up our own lands. Mana Tithe is sitting in here. Excellent card for what we're trying to do. Works well. Crack the Earth is in here. Interestingly enough, this synergizes with both Chromatic Star and Ichor Wellspring. Boom Bust is here. This synergizes with Cascading Cataracts, and we need to be careful to remember this. This land has Indestructible. What's interesting is it's a colorless land. It's not an artifact, so it avoids random Karns shutting it down. But it doesn't really give us any colors unless we get up to 5. We could. It's just a little bit difficult at times with your 22 lands. There are a set of Ghostly Prisons here, and what's interesting here is we're going to go ahead and stay with, I think, the Ghostly Prisons, though I could switch these out for bridges. We're going to go ahead and try these because we are running a pair of Greater Gargadons. Now, what's other thing that's different here is that we have Suppression Field to the sideboard instead of main board, and this is because we are running a package of Planeswalkers. We have a Johnny, we have a Chandra, and we have 2 Chandra Acolyte of Flame. Totally experimental. We'll see how they run. Probably won't be worth it. Might be excellent to rebuy a spell. So then we have Molten Range and Pillages. We don't have Stone Rain, so this isn't like as far in on the destroy lands. Instead, we've decided Ichor Wellspring is a good draw engine to help us get to another spell, another spell, another spell. We do have a video, though, up already where we destroy so many lands. So we'll see how that plays out. Sideboard-wise, we have Suppression Fields in case they're heavy on their own Planeswalkers, in case they're heavy on their own fetches. We could potentially bring these in. Ghostly Prisons for those aggro matchups. Surgical for the graveyard. Lightning Bolt and Helix for probably burn or something that's really low-end. 1 mana is all they need. Trinispheres for, say, Storm, Infect, Burn. And Grafdigger's Cages to go along with our Surgical. And finally a Wear and Tear. With that, I think it's time to get going because who knows how long we'll have the room. Let's play some Magic. You don't take naps. You were playing or talking about this. Heck yeah. It's a good list to talk about. We're going to just jump right in here with the event tickets. I don't have play points. All right. Let's see how this list does. There's 1 or 2 variations out there. Ice 9 is the one that we picked it up from at the very beginning. Let's see how this runs. Goldfish ran it earlier today, and we're going to run it now. Ours will definitely be up on YouTube more than likely in a day or 2. People are enjoying it out there. So thanks for checking it out and giving it a thumbs up. But we're here with the folks live playing. Let's play first. Mana Tithe is a counter. It's an interesting counter because it does interesting things. Ooh, if we hit our second land, we're great, but we've talked about this. Keeping these 1-landers. If I hit that second land, we play Ichor Wellspring. We got Mana Tithe up. Crackle the Earth. Boom Bust. Johnny's a little weak here, being a 4-drop. I don't know if I can keep a 1-lander here, especially since I'm planning to crack the Earth. Gotta probably ship this, as much as it's tempting here. Oh yeah. Okay, this one's worth keeping, I think. We can keep this. We can definitely put a Flagstone back. And we're going to Mana Tithe them and maybe even Molten Rain. We'll go with this. This one's feeling good. Radiant Fountain. Denied. We're not giving them that amulet. We're going to blow up some lands. Never saw it coming, did you, opponent? What a great top deck. Yeah, I would like to use Flagstone's ability. Keep us on the land track here. We're going to Molten Rain our next target. Then Ajani's coming down. Woo. Boy, oh boy. Oh, they're never going to get to cast anything. Blow it up. Take 2. Pass the turn. Oh, the castle. The castle. Get out of here, castle. Take 2. Pass turn. Oh, field. Psh, field. Give me a land. Give me a land. Oh, it was close. It was close. It was close. Get out of here, Field of the Dead. Psh. Get out of here. Oh, it's not tapped. Johnny's not completely broken. Maybe they'll tap it for me. Right on time. Yeah, we just gotta play Chandra, right? Right? We're just playing Chandra here. Play Chandra, just don't worry about this plant. Uptick. Just go. How to top it deck a documentary. Skip over that land. Oh no, it was a Manatide. That could have been a really good card. Skipped over the Manatide. Bouncy land. We'll keep that tapped down soon. Why tap it down when you can just blow it up? I just kind of want to. I'll just keep it tapped. I sort of want to blow it up though. Anyway, up we'll go. Pass the turn. Blow up the other land. So many decisions. Ah, that looks like a great one. Kaboom. We could do 6, destroy all lands. Oh, what if we destroyed all lands right now? Oh! Oh! Ichor Wellspring, huh? It's a pretty good card. We could destroy all lands right here. That would be so funny. That would be so funny. They'd have an extra land, though. I think let's play a little conservatively. We'll Ichor Wellspring, draw our card. We can now play Cascading Down. I can now destroy my lands, this land, tap down that land, uptick here. Go ahead, opponent. Go ahead. I don't think I get so much joy out of just playing this list. That would be a top 4, 5 reason to get these cards. Sometimes it just works so well. It's great. Okay. We're good now. The night's done. Fantastic. Okay, so we have a Ghostly Prison here. Trinisphere is kind of an interesting one to bring in as well against this opponent. The Wear and Tear is a maybe. Suppression Field doesn't hit too many things. I think it's like these 5 are looking interesting to me. 1 Greater Gargadon or 2 Greater Gargadons can honestly probably come out. Maybe just 1. This is probably an okay matchup for Chandra Acolyte. These are all good. Lightning Bolt's probably weaker, even though it could hit an Azusa. The Manatide is fine, but they're going to begin playing around it. I'm going to probably trim one of those. That could easily be Ghostly plus a Trinisphere for these 3. I am facing Amulet and just sort of semi-crushed them game 1. We had a couple land destruction spells. I think the Wear and Tear wouldn't be a bad thing. Since I'm on the play, or on the draw, the Manatide is a little weaker. Wear and Tear gets rid of something. They're gonna play around this Mana Tithe. I can almost guarantee it. So actually taking it out is kind of like not necessarily a next level play, but going there. I'm liking these. Maybe I don't need so many Trinispheres. It might hinder me more than it hinders them. And if I'm thinking that's the case, maybe this should be out and Gregor Gargadon should just be in. It's a 9/7 threat. Doesn't do too much, but it ends the game really quickly. Maybe I do play the Mana Tithe. Feeling the greater. Trinisphere is interesting. Takes care of the 2/4. That's true. That's true. That card's annoying for Lightning Bolt and the Helix. The Dryad. You know what? I'm going to play one Mana Tithe and not do the Trinispheres and take one Greater Gargadon out because we're on the draw. When we're on the play, I'll switch the Greater Gargadon back in and take something like Ichor Wellspring out or something. This looks fairly good. I don't think I can ship this. I've got a Pillage at some point, Mana Tithe, some draw effects, and a Ghostly Prison. Seems good to me. Let's see what they play on turn 1. It's not going to be Azusa, that's for sure. Alright. Let's see here. They can't necessarily do too much to me. Maybe I'm supposed to go ahead and play the Chromatic Star down. Then I have the Wear and Tear. If they play an Amulet. Holding up Mana Tithe, them having 2 mana doesn't seem really good. You like pass Star on turn 2? Alright. I kind of like Star now in case I get a Crack the Earth, but we'll play our Mana Tithe. We have it. Bouncy land. We can still do this. And I think I'm going to go ahead and do this. It's a reasonable play here. Basically, it's a double Stone Rain for them. Just saying, guys. Alright. Breeding Pool tapped. Land would be okay here. We nailed it. We nailed it, ladies and gentlemen. I suppose I should just pillage them. Pillage them, and if I top deck another land, it's Chandra Acolyte plus Crack the Earth. It's just ruin their life here. One by one. Down go the lands. Oh, a basic. It's pretty good. Okay. Let's try to hit our land drop here. Ichor Wellspring, leaving up Mana Tithe. We do hit our land. Perfect. All right. Next turn, we can Crack the Earth, getting rid of our Ichor Wellspring and blowing up another land here. Mana Tithe is currently open here. Looking good. Looking good. Could just pillage something, too. Pillage leaves up Mana Tithe. Then we save Chandra for the Crack the Earth later. In we go. Pew pew. Pew pew. Just destroy all the lands. That's all we're doing tonight. Valakut. Interesting card. Alright, let's go ahead and Chandra Acolyte here. Down tick. Let's go ahead and cast this Crack the Earth. Maybe I'll draw into a land here. That's why we wanted her. Woohoo! Ichor Wellspring. They'll keep their lands. Sunbaked Canyon. Mana Tithe is up. Everything is falling into place perfectly. It's all falling into place perfectly. What do I do here? What do I do? I just Molten Rain this and move on with my life? Attack for some? Uptick this so I can Molten Rain again? Ooh. Is this value, dig it? Molten Rain. Let's put a loyalty counter. And let's pass the turn with Mana Tithe open. I feel dirty. Yeah. Oh, first spell of the game. We're on turn 8. Turn 8. If they did not have a land, a mana tithe it. Oh, they whiff on their land. Concedes. Turn 8. Turn 8, first spell. We are gonna draw. Oh. Play Ichor Wellspring, crack the earth, draw a card, 2 cards. Play Chromatic Star, downtick Chandra, crack the earth. It's not always going to happen that way, but I'll take it. Let's go to match number 2. Oh yeah, maybe it's the same opponent. That was it. That was it. That was all of our luck for the night. It's not going to happen like that again. I'll play first. I like this. Mana Tithe into Chromatic Star. We're going to draw that Crack the Earth again. Alright. What do we got across the table? What do we got? Breeding Pool. It's not the same person. Double checking. Double checking. Gotta double check. Oh my gosh. We can start wrecking their face. Do I do this? They had no turn 1 play. Let's just show them what's up. Boom. Get out of here. I don't even need Mana Tithe. Force negation. Oh, no. Okay. Whew, we're good. We're good. Destroyed. Snow covered plains. Ooh. Astrolabe. Okay. They drew one of these. They drew one of those. Where's this list from? The Ether. Ice 9 was the creator, or at least the one I could find. Should I just Molten Rain this, or should I get a Chandra in play? What can they do on 2 here? What are they gonna do on 2 that's gonna upset me? A little afraid of what's gonna show up on 2. Maybe I just Ichor Wellspring, draw a card, pass turn with Mana Tithe open here. It's been recent. It's been recent, but it's been kind of coming together. Sacred Foundry's good. Cool. I can Chandra Acolyte next turn, Mana Tithe open, or I can Molten Rain, Mana Tithe open. Everything's coming together. Everything's coming together. Let's go ahead and Molten Rain one of these. Keep that Mana Tithe open. Maybe they'll try to remand this or something. I don't know. What do you got on 2? They're gonna... What are they gonna do? The snake? Get out of here, snake. You don't need to draw a card. That feels completely reasonable here. Molten Rain here. Get the Chandra down. Boom bust in a turn. My opponent needed that draw. Guaranteed. Let's just shock this in. 1, 2, 3. Chandra Acolyte. Let's boom bust him. Oh, she's been fantastic so far. Oh, I can't boom bust. That's right. Well, in that case. That's right. She can't boom bust. She can crack, molten, pillage. She can't boom bust. It's okay though. Our opponent was not about that anymore. All right. So we have ETB shenanigans here. We have activated Astrolabes, which don't care about suppression field. We do have creatures typically in this build. I'm thinking I might want a few more pieces of removal in this game. You bet the deck runs Stoneforge? It possibly could. That would be a reason for the suppression field. Crack the Earth seems a bit bad because he has Astrolabe. Possibly. It does kind of mess with their colors a little bit. We could probably trim 1 or 2 of those, though. It's probably not a bad idea. Wear and Tear is interesting. Is it interesting enough to get rid of an Astrolabe? Maybe a Stoneforge's equipped creature? We could definitely run them. Maybe one less Helix. Consider 6 here and try to get 6 in. Greater Gargadon's feeling weird because we're going to cast it. It's going to get countered, or they're going to bounce it probably. So I'll trim one of those. How about the field? Suppression Field? You're liking Suppression Field? Right now, we can't. So they're probably the Snowblade deck. Suppression Field's interesting. I guess they have fetch lands. He might have walkers. If they have the walkers, we're going to want to be trimming some of our walkers a little bit. Maybe I just lean heavily on Ghostly Prisons and I just don't try to remove their creatures and we try to do something like this. And if that's the case, I'll drop one Chandra and one, maybe like one Mana Tithe or something like that. Or we could do this. The Ghostlies will protect us. Doesn't protect Planeswalkers as much. That's a reason to drop a one. Plus we're bringing in Suppression Field. Could even keep the Mana Tithe, but they've seen the Mana Tithe, and so we're again in that game of do we keep it in or not, and is my opponent going to play around it? I think we'll try this a little bit of sideboard and see how it plays out. Again, we're figuring out what works and what doesn't. This is only league number 2 that I've ever played with this list. And so in order to get some more reps in, obviously we've got to run, and sometimes you got to keep interesting hands, sometimes you just got to move on. This hand looks like a keeper though. We do have a Mana Tithe. We have 4 lands, which is 1 too many, but I like the other 3 cards drastically here. Let's just start with a Sunbaked Canyon pass. I don't want to indicate that I have necessarily Mana Tithe by playing a non-shocking land here. Is my favorite color in Magic red or red? It's actually not red. I just play a lot of red decks. That's playing around Mana Tithe, by the way. Guaranteed. So we're going to just play a little bit of a slower game with our opponent here. It's a shame we don't have the boils. Opponent's considering something at 3 here. An Ashiok. So I can counter this Ashiok followed up with a Molten Rain. Do I even care about this Ashiok? I don't have anything. Well, I have Flagstones that makes me search my deck. That's about it. I agree with you in some ways that using the Mana Tithe for this is probably the best it's going to get, but what if they have a 4-mana walker or something? I guess I don't want them to mill over our win conditions. We don't have too many of those. I don't have too many win conditions. Maybe Ashiok's a little bit frightening. Alright, next up will be Molten Rain, more than likely. Set him back a land. We could double draw here, but the Crack the Earth, like was mentioned, Astrolabe probably gets burned for that. Let's go ahead and Molten Rain. Take him down a land past turn. Ashiok's to mill self. That could be true. Inquisitor, what's up? How you doing? Alright. Can Ichor Wellspring Crack the Earth? Even if it doesn't really hit more than just this Astrolabe, it's definitely drawing me some cards here. Could start with a Wellspring. I don't think this is incorrect. I don't need to be jamming the Ghostlies just yet. Ichor. Let's go ahead and crack. It's a draw. It's a draw for me. They might sacrifice the Astrolabe. It might mess up their mana just a little bit here. We're not playing around Mana Tithe, by the way. No fear. Alright, they get rid of their Astrolabe. We get to draw a card. That's a good one. Well, let's play the Sunbaked Canyon untapped. Mana Tithe. Mana. You're fascinated by this deck? It is kind of fascinating. It's very interesting to see what it does here. This is a fake pump. I wouldn't probably counter that anyway. It's just drawing a few cards. I'd rather grab something at 4. Mystic Sanctuary, picking back up the Charm. This is where things could get interesting. Marai, interact with the opponent as much as I can, even as killing an Astrolabe. That's fair. Start with an Ichor Wellspring here, drawing a card. We have these to draw cards too. Let's see here. I don't know if I want to play a Ghostly Prison here. Let's just pass the turn, plan to crack here, and make it look like I have a counter spell up. Ice Fang. Make them play a little bit slower, and then I can crack one of these Sunbaked Canyons and draw a card. They do have fetch lands. So here's a situation where I believe we're pretty far behind. Ooh. I say that, and then I run into that kind of card. It's pretty sweet. All right, let's Ghostly. Boombust is one that could potentially get us back into it. Depends on what my opponent's got. If they have no counter spells, we'll be looking fairly good. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will be a 6th mana. We can go for it. We'll probably lead with a Cascading Cataract, as that would not die. Probability of them having a counterspell is high, but not infinite. Archmage Charm here. We'll see how it goes, though. Maybe they want to attack. Then Ghostly gets kind of interesting. Euro. Here we go. Maybe they'll attack here. They've got to get in, right? Come on, you can do it. You can do it, friend. Plays another Mystic Sanctuary. Okay. Archmage Charm to the top. Okay. So this coming turn would be the turn to go ahead and blow the world up. I wonder if they'll attack. They don't. Interesting. One, 2, 3, 4, and 2 up. Infinite possibilities, exactly. All right, so what do we have here? We have the option to go ahead and attempt a Boombust. I'm thinking that that's dangerous here for the counter. In some ways, I'd almost like them to try to escape this next turn, and then they'd only have 2 mana. So if they were to try to escape that next turn, what do we want to be putting in? Do I want to put a Ghostly Prison in, or do I want to attempt the Chandra to get rid of a counter spell? Chandra is a win condition for us. It's very tempting to just try Ghostly Prison, pass. Make it very hard for them to attack. You want to try to throw Chandra away here? The other thing is that if they have a 3-mana counter here, by playing the Chandra out, it makes it look like potentially... Alright, they had a Force Negation. But it made it look a little bit like, hey, okay, this could be a Mana Tithe still behind this. Alright, so they draw that Archmage Charm. They've got that in hand. Let's see if they want to burn anything by getting Euro into play and or having something else. I don't know if we'll ever get around the Force of Negation charm stuff they've got. So they're going to cast Euro here. In some ways, I wish I had another Tithe here just to tithe this once. So they have Charm in hand. Let's see if they want to attack with Ice Fang at all here. The answer is no. They want to leave Charm up. Let's pass the turn without cracking Sunbaked Canyon. If I draw a Tithe here, we're looking very good. Let's try Suppression Field. Suppression Field, Ghostly Prison. We're gonna try to get it so that it costs a lot for them to attack. In the Suppression Field, they'll need a crack now. They might counter this, which will allow us to get the Ghostly Prison down. Temple Garden was found here. Interesting choice. Go ahead and Ghostly Prison number 2 here. Snapcaster. Okay. Resolves. In some ways, I don't want to put a land into play. We'll go ahead and pass. We're going to do this because I will attempt to do a bust. At some point, they need to attack me. And it does cost quite a bit to attack me. Any fetch lands here as well, and any attacks would be kind of interesting. We know they have the Archmage Charm, and that's about it. If we can find running spells here, things could get interesting. Alright, so they pay the 6, or pay the 4, gets to connect here, draws a card, can put a land into play, puts a Snow Covered Plains, hits us for 6, and we go to 10. We're needing like just 1 or 2 more little things here. And none of this is helping. Let's go do a redraw. The redraw is expensive, but we're going to go ahead and do it. A Wear and Tear. Interesting. Okay, at end step we can destroy our own artifact here to draw another card. Maybe we can bait them into a counter or something. Always leaving up something that looks like Mana Tithe is making our opponent worried, I think. Bounces one. Alright, I'll take the Ghostly to hand. They do draw a card for that. Now things are a little bit cheaper for them, but not game breaking yet. Tax for 6. Only has to cash in 2 here. It's pretty good for them. Field of Ruin. Interesting card. Maybe they'll ramp me. I don't know. A Misty. End step, we'll go ahead and wear my Ichor Wellspring to draw a card. Doesn't counter. Johnny. If I had more mana out now, I could easily a Johnny. They'd probably counter that and then blow up the world. I think I've just got to go for it, even though we know they have the Archmage Charm. Maybe we don't go for it with the idea that we don't show them this and maybe they forget about it. I think I've got to conceal information. We know they have the charm. We'll go ahead and concede. Alright, let's see if we can get ahead of our opponent. We did have Boil in one of the earlier versions of this, and Boil would be great here. But we don't have it this time. Okay. So maybe I play a Surgical or the Cages. My opponent doesn't appear to be on the Stoneblade version. They're on the Euro version. I'm thinking we have to get in an attack.
Good evening, Mr. HR Fluff and Stuff. Wanted to see if these bit can go towards a Whataburger meal and shake. But if not, then some Pop-Tarts will do.
Some Pop-Tarts will do? Uncle DB, thank you so much for the 1,000 biddies. You mean Pop-Tarts? These? Get a Party Meltdown combo? I'll definitely get some Whataburger too. Stoneblade also plays a 1 of Euro, so we found the 1 of Euro. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. This Wear and Tear feels medium at best. I don't like the wear and tear, guys. I don't like the lightning bolt really either. I like a surgical in here, and I like an extra crack the earth being on the play. Patty meltdown is a patty melt. Honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich on a bun, please. Honey butter biscuit. Chicken butter biscuit. It's a honey buttered chicken biscuit from Whataburger. Suppression fields didn't do a whole lot either. Not sponsored. It's never sponsored. Get rid of the suppression fields. I don't know. I just think I just want to crack the world in half all the time. One cage, one crack. What's interesting is they could just start attacking me with little creatures, but I think I'm okay with that. We have a lot of ghostly prisons. I'll crack the world and scream with you. Oh boy. Alright, I'm on the play. Let's make it work. I'll keep... This is really actually pretty good here. We can ramp with flagstones here. Look like I have a mana tithe open. We'll boom bust, we'll pillage, we'll molten, we'll pillage. They'll just never do it. Maybe the fourth mana tithe was probably okay. I could see that. I don't disregard that suggestion at all. A ramp. I mean, I can play non-ramp now. The reason to ramp was to get double red, but now that I have the mountain, I'm good to just play this out instead. But speaking of, I needed the double red, but we got there. Uh-oh, Phlogistrand. What if I pillage the Astrolabe now? What if I just pillage the Astrolabe now? You like playing flagstones? He might have Ashiok. Oh, he might. Then I just won't crack this. I don't need to anymore. I'm really tempted to just nail this Astrolabe. It seems silly, but it makes our cracks in the future a whole heck of a lot better. You mean last turn? Thins the deck ever so slightly. Ever so slightly. Let's go ahead and try to blow up the world some more. Let's attempt a Molten Rain here. Cracks this. What do you got for me, opponent? Hallowed Fountain untapped. We getting countered here? I have 2 more land destruction spells. Mana leaked. Alright, they got me. In some ways, we just need a jam, though. We can't really just sit here and try to do something else. Let's go ahead and attempt a pillage here on the mountain, the Hallowed Fountain. Aether Gust. Doing it on top or bottom? I think I can go ahead and bottom this because I'm going to draw with the Sunbaked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know what? I'm not going to draw with here because if they play a 4 mana spell for whatever reason, then we have the boom bust. I suppose seeing this now, I could go ahead and draw a couple boom buffs here. Okay. Let's attempt. I need 2 more mana to boom, then bust. But I can double boom here. They've got a counter. It's almost guaranteed. I basically can go boom, 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 boom. Is it boom, countered, boom? Worth it here? Just take them off white. So many counter spells to get through. I just want to destroy all the lands. Boom, bust, boom, bust. I'm tempted to wait because I have a feeling they just have Cryptic and they're just going to hold it. I could also see if they want to fire it off. You want to wait? I think I want to go ahead and fire one of these off. And then leave up as much colored mana to make it look like I could play something else here. Tricky turn here. Counters are really eating us up. If I had Boyle in the deck, I'd definitely wait, but I don't. There's a hard consideration for something else here. Can't mana leak it. The Archmage Charm being used here, also instead of a Cryptic, is would be kind of nice. They're not sure what to do either. Snapcaster. It has to be Aethergust here. So if I put it on top, they know it's coming again. I could then take the turn to go ahead and boom again. I'm wondering if he has no lands in hand, and if he does, then topping this and then booming right now and then doing it again might be really good. Reptar? Whoa. I'm really tempted to just do this again. Like top it, boom right now, and then boom again. Let's go ahead and top it and see if that pays off for us. I could shuffle it away, but I don't want to shuffle it away. I want to draw that card. Let's go. Their mana leaks, if they have them in hand, are looking really bad right now. Remands are looking bad. They have to have the Archmage Charm or the Cryptic Command. Did have a land. It's green mana too. Probably worth hitting that, although I could probably safely hit the snow-covered island. Probably go after the forest though. I don't know. It's tempting to go after either one here. Green unlocks a few things I don't want. So does all the islands. I'm gonna go after the forest though. It's gotta be like exactly Cryptic here. Alright. We'll pass turn. We'll leave the one card in hand. I don't think it matters to play. Alright. It does appear they're somewhat out of things to do here. Temple Garden. Opponent's finding all the lands. Ashiok. Okay. Gets rid of my graveyard. Chandra Acolyte's not as good now. Mana Tithe. Pass the turn. starting to get unquestionable. Down to 14. Mills themselves. Or I thought they did. Now they mill me. A lot of lands. A lot of lands. Chromatic Star. We are running out of steam. Let's go ahead and crack this, making red. Attempt to pillage. We'll go after an island. This does leave them with Euro mana. And right now they can Cryptic and I can't Mana Tithe. We are running out of steam. Aether Gusts. We'll bottom this one. Need something else. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We did them dirty that game 1. Game 2 and game 3 here. They've gotten some lands. Alright. Ghostly, Ajani, Star, Crack the Earth. All these good cards. Land's not good. They might just attempt to mill me out. Ice Fang. Being able to keep up with our draw here with putting creatures into the battlefield that matters is a huge, huge deal. We're going to go to 9 here. Not good for us. Ichor Wellspring, Greater Gargadon, Ichor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Unfortunately, we don't get the search here. And we're just going to try to bust it. We get to keep one card here. Disdainful Stroke. Oh, worth a shot. They've got everything for us. Looks like we're out of steam. Maybe an Ajani? Both are in the bin already. Gonna go to 3. Yeah, this one's a rip. Yeah, everything's too small for Mana Tithe. A couple bolts and helixes would give us a lot more time. We could remove something. Oh yeah, they just pick up like Cryptic Command here. Alright. You got it, opponent. You got it. I don't have any like easy board wipes either. Oh yeah. Gauge. Alright. 1 and 1. Still a good start. I would say so. You gave up on this build? We're only in match or league number 2 with this build. We usually don't give up on a build that we're interested in until we hit like 100 matches, so 50 or 20 leagues. So we got a little ways to go before we give up on this. Besides, this is like the stacks list we used to play a long time ago. Alright, we found our opponent we're playing first. We can keep this hand. This hand's pretty hot. Little Mana Tithe, little Boom Bust. Maybe a Ichor Wellspring. Who knows? Who knows? Show them what's up. Fiery Islet with a Soulscar Mage. I'm going to Mana Tithe that because killing a creature is hard for this deck. Let's go ahead and shock in here. I'm going to go ahead and Boom Bust. Flagstone's their land. Sometimes this deck has like 1 or 2 lands in the opener. Let's see if we can punish them. We have to sort of do this now anyway. We're drawing too many of our Sacred Foundries. Don't give up. Charge forward. Let's go get something here. Put it into play tapped. Go ahead, opponent. We're going to Molten Rain them next. Maybe they won't have anything. Alright, this matchup is definitely Lightning Bolts, Helixes, Ghostlies, and Trinispheres. This matchup, we can probably... Crack the Earth is probably okay, but we probably don't have time to do stars. We'll trim 1 Greater Gargadon here. We'll trim 2 Acolytes as well. We don't really have time for those things. The Johnny's life gain, pseudo removal, removal, tons of removal, difficult to attack, and difficult to cast your spells. Unless we get the Mana Tithe really on turn 1 or 2, I think otherwise it's not very good. This is why I think land destruction seems to have a place in this meta. Every now and then it might. Every now and then. Alright, I like these. Ghostly Prison should be a very difficult card for this one to beat. We don't have a ley line, which might make things a little awkward if they go into the kind of like burn route. Removal, bunch of lands, Trinisphere. I like the fact that I have a removal spell. I don't like the fact that I have nothing to remove, but I do like this Trinisphere. We're going to keep this, see if it's too slow. I think it's going to be. We'll see, though. Lava Spike. Just deciding to go upstairs. Alright. Inspiring Vantage means I take 0 damage. That's nice. There's nothing like turn 1 Karn. Yeah, there's definitely not a lot like turn 1 Karn. That's for sure. Alright. They're going to probably bolt me or something. Lava Dart me. That's fine. Lava Dart me. I don't think they want to be sacrificing these, especially with me having a Trinisphere. Appears they have nothing to do. Alright. We can get back to that Ghostly Prison. We'll go ahead and put a Trinisphere into play. Burst Lightnings. Burst Lightnings. See, this is where like a ley line would definitely have helped. My opponent's gone strictly blow the world up here. Bedlam Reveler. This is a bad card for us. Crack the Earth, huh? I don't want to cash in the Trinisphere here. I think we just crack the Earth and then Ghostly. Oh, we can't do both. That's right, because we have Trinisphere. Alright, we'll just play in a Ghostly Prison then, past turn. I want to do everything with this out. Alright, Ghostly's going to basically make it attack me or play a spell. They have another land here. It's attack me and play a spell, which is really bad for us. Bedlam Reveler was probably the worst creature for us to see because the Lightning Bolt should be enough to remove just about everything, but... You're good. Go for it. Maybe I'll top deck another Bolt. Helix. Definitely could top deck either of those to get rid of this. Ichor Wellspring. And actually, I'd only be at 5 mana, so I wouldn't be able to do that. Let's play out a Crack the Earth. Sacrificing just a mountain here, I think. And now they can't attack and do the damage. Though they have a lava dart, so they're really only 2 turns away from doing this anyway. Casts a lava dart. Does 1 damage to me. Okay. Can't attack. Ghostly's here. If I get another land destruction spell. I don't. Let's see what it would have been. See what it would have been. Alright. I guess we can do this and see if they want to lava dart me one more time, or if they'll attack me this time. And even if I got the removal, the attack itself is lethal. Alright. Gotta beat them in game number 3. I think the Trinisphere still slows them down. They had a lot of lands that game. Sometimes they don't have that many. Maybe I just play another Greater Gargadon and try to get something really big out. Go down Ichor Wellspring. Bolt Helix them a bunch. A bunch of Moltens. Still the Ghostlies. Still the Moonbusts. Yeah. Maybe I could play an extra Mana Tithe with the idea if I get a Trinisphere down. Mana Tithe is a 3 mana spell, but maybe they had to pay 3. It's going to be a tough one, I think. Alright. This one looks actually a little bit better. Let's go ahead and keep this. We'll put our Sacred Foundry in tapped, I think, to save some life. And we can crack the world, Flagstone, not fall behind. The 2 damage here is going to matter, I believe. Looks good. Alright. How do we want to approach this? I think I could just Helix this pretty safely. Helix and let them play another creature down. Hope it's not 2 creatures here. Maybe I could get another land I can crack plus Bolt. Lava spikes me. Lava spikes me. That's fine. We gained some life from that Helix, so things are looking okay. Let's go ahead and crack the earth, because it doesn't cost me too much here. And it'll put them down 1 card. Okay. 2 land destruction spells and a creature preventer. Land drop would be nice. We missed our land drop. We'll pass turn. I don't want to crack again here. I'd rather be using these pillages or getting some value out of Crack the Earth. Double Lava Dart. Looks like they're getting ready for a Bedlam Reveler. 5, 6, 7, 8. Cracks a Fiery Islet. Might be worth actually cracking the Earth here if we miss. I'm afraid of a Bedlam Reveler. One, two. What is Bedlam card? Bedlam Reveler. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's actually 4 Soulscar Mage. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I can wait a turn. They need like Lightning Bolt and Bedlam Reveler in hand. And a land. Okay. They don't have it. Nice. Alright. Let's go ahead. Let's cast Boon Bust because I'm destroying a land that doesn't die and one of their lands. And that way I leave Lightning Bolt up. If I have one more land in hand, I could crack the earth and clear one out. Shrine of the Burning Rage could be a problem. I have the Pillage though, so not too scary. Crack. Let's just pillage the shrine here. I don't need that getting out of hand crazy like. We'll just Molten next turn, maybe crack. There's a Swift Spear. That'll hit a bolt here. There's a Molten Rain. Gosh. I could play down a Ghostly Prison as well and make things real awkward for them. I think I want to bolt this. We'll just pass. I do have these cracks. I need some value out of the cracks personally. I can't go down anymore. Oh boy, another Swifty. Maybe I can get a Johnny down and pick this off. Well, that option is available to me now. How many lava darts do we got here? We have 2 sets of lava darts. We could also just keep it tapped down. Maybe I just keep it tapped down. I'm at 10. Not super scary. We'll keep it tapped down this turn. Like I said, maybe I can get a Ichor Wellspring here. There we go. There we go. All right. Sacrifice a permanent. Can keep it tapped. I can flagstones. I can crack. See what they do here. I can molten. I have 2 sets of lava darts here, which puts the Swift Spear out of range if they wanted. You want to crack first? If I crack, then I can't molten. Vice versa. You can keep this creature tapped. I doubt they're going to cash in these lava darts to try to kill a Johnny. Flagstones float, white, crack. Might be worth it. Mr. Jangles, it's going. It's going. Alright, let's keep Swifty down. Let's go ahead and crack the earth, see if they want to do anything here with the Swift Spear being cracked away. That turns it into removal. It's not terrible, and a Johnny's going up, maybe going to blow up the world. Again, go ahead and put in a Ghostly as well. So they do decide to get rid of their Swift Spear. I want to use this ability, Seeker Foundry, and we'll just go ahead and slam a Ghostly and pass turn. Bedlam Reveler is still a thing they could get here. They decide to Burst Lightning me. Might want to cash in a Johnny for some life gain. Opponent was tapping. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. If I get another red land, I can molten. What did you draw? I hate having to like lose a Johnny to some lava darts, but I'm probably really need to go ahead and down tick a Johnny here. There's a light up the stage. They got a land and a smash. I guess the land's okay. Okay. Now we can keep this land tapped down and Molten Rain the other one. Do I need to gain any life here? They're gonna have nothing here. Let's go ahead and keep this tapped. And we'll Molten the other one. We'll pass turn. The higher a Johnny is, the more I can use him later. Just gain a bunch of life. Excellent. Alright, so now we can go ahead and slam a Trinisphere here. And now I can go ahead and use a Johnny to gain a little bit of life. Excellent, excellent card. I don't need my Ghostly Prison anymore, or I shouldn't, but I don't need to fire off the Crack the Earth, so... And not possible with the Trinisphere out. We're looking good. Got him under a Trinisphere with the Ajani. We get the GG's. GG's, Little Pip. Fan of the stream. Thanks for the good games. Ooh. Ooh. Just gonna make sure they never have lands. All right, Ajani doing some hard work here in the league. Let's roll. Let's keep it rolling. Ajani's pseudo land destruction with the upticking, but it's also a creature removal is really nice. The life gain's exceptional at times. That's also why the Lightning Helixes are probably in the sideboard, because I'm sure Burn was a bit of a difficult matchup. But Ajani and Lightning Helixes give you enough of that time, hopefully, so that you can find a couple of your tinier other win conditions. And then Ajani's ult is freaking sweet. But we don't talk about that, because it doesn't happen too much. Alright, C. Newman's our opponent, rocking the Chandra. We're going to go ahead and keep this. We're on the play, get to play Inspiring Vantage into Flagstone Crack, or we do some Wellsprings. Thought and Porphyry nodes in the deck. It can kill creatures. It's basically what you would want to be running if you don't want to be doing the path stuff. If you're running path, things get weird. All right, might be Titan here. If it's Titan, we're in a great spot. It appears to be Titan. Radiant Fountain played. Amulet down. All right. We're on our way. I'm going to go ahead and use the Crack the Earth here. They might go ahead and get rid of their Amulet here. We get to get rid of Flagstones, and then we'll have Molten Rain after this anyway. And that Amulet's kind of frustrating, but so are their lands. So we'll see how this goes. This looks delicious. This matchup is a deliciousness. It's deliciousness. We get to Molten Rain next. Probably Molten Rain a bouncy land. Why not float white there? Because I'm all in on the they didn't have a counter. There's a Field of the Dead. I want to blow that up. That thing's annoying. Get out of here. Alright, Johnny's next. Johnny's gonna do stuff. Lil Huawei. Thank you for the follow. Alright, Ajani. The Gargadon's cool, but Ajani is even sweeter. Please, I have a family. My poor opponent. I have a family. All right. So, we have this Gargadon thing. We have this Wellspring thing. I think I'm good to try a Wellspring here. Yeah, the Gargadon Wellspring. It's legit. Pillage is pretty sweet too. Unfortunately, I can't quite cash that in. Make sure they can't untap that land. We'll go ahead and suspend this. Go ahead and use the ability here. Draw. Molten looks good for next turn. Go ahead, opponent. All right, let's see what they have with 2 mana, potentially 3. Then we're gonna just send the meteors in. We can only do 1 of these, but if we get that top deck land, we can do 2 of them. And we're almost to 7. Just saying, things get real wild when we get to 7. Alright, we're suspend, count down. Chandra, huh? Chandra Molten Rain here? I mean, they're not countering something here. I don't see a reason not to. Chandra Molten Rain. We'll Molten Rain the Gemstone. We'll keep this tapped. Pass the turn. You love this deck? This deck's sweet. And it kind of hates on Amulet. It's very rude. Whew, Mana Tithe. They never saw that. Okay, what have we brought in for this? Alright, what do we do? Wear and Tear. I think I've brought in Trinisphere as well. I'm trying to remember what I brought in for this matchup. For once, I want to stumble upon your stream and not see you playing something that makes me want to keep watching. Thank you. What do you not like? I was thinking about playing Lantern Control soon. People don't particularly like that one. I feel like the last time I played this matchup, I brought in Trinisphere, but that might be incorrect. Might have just been a bunch of Ghostlies. You like that too? Let's see here. Lightning Bolt wasn't very good. Wear and Tear was good for the Dryad. Trinisphere is good for the Summoner's Pack stuff. I think I just want to do Trinispheres in this. Take out Lightning Bolt. One Greater Gargadon. You know what? We're going to keep the Greater Gargadon in. We're going to trim one Mana Tithe here. And one Star. I don't know. The Planeswalkers have been great, and Chandra Acolyte was absolutely bonkers, the game we got her down. Because she turns into 2 more uses. We're going to keep this. The Cracked Earth will be a bit it'll be a bit but we're going to make it work. My opponent's already mulled, looking probably for 10 lands in their hand. Will be hard. No Amulet. Alright, let's go ahead, shock in here. Let's go ahead and get the Star down. The hope here is that they play a bounce land, bounce the forest back, and I get to crack the earth. We'll see if we get lucky. Ghost Quarter. No bouncy land. Trinisphere is pretty sweet. We're almost there. Let's go ahead and crack the earth. Get rid of the Star. They'll get rid of their Ghost Quarter. We'll draw a card. Let's go ahead and play the Star down. Pass the turn. Alright. We got a Pillage. That's the next one up here. Oh, Pillage looking so good. Oh, it's so rude. Shock it in. Here we go. Blow it up. Get out of here. No lands for you. No lands. Are we going to get to turn 8 before they cast a spell? Shock it in. Suspend. 1, 2, 3. Sphere. Good luck. Good luck. We have the Greater Gargadon suspended. My opponent can't cast anything. Name's Giant with Cavern. Gargadon goes down 1. Pillage. Boom. Pass turn. We can cash this in next turn. Bouncy land. Bouncy land's pretty good. We'll go down 1. Sacrifice an artifact. Star, draw land. Play land. 1, 2, 3. Destroy. Pass turn. This is so mean. Greater Gargadon goes down. Wear and Tear. Not good enough. Not good enough. We'll play Ichor Wellspring. Draw a card. Play our land down. Sacrifice Ichor Wellspring. Get some Mana Tithe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Should I just do that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Seems greedy. I think I just wait one more turn, not to be super greedy about this. They can't cast anything, so we'll go ahead and Ghostly Prison. And then I can use that as a sacrifice as well. Alright, pass turn. Now we're going to just get in here with the big boy. Oh, we're being asked what this land's for. Asking if it's Golos. I'm like, nope, boom, bust. Alright, let's sacrifice flagstones here. We'll go search for something here. Gives me another sacrifice. We're bringing in the Gargadon. This is the first time we got this sweetheart in. In comes the Gargadon. Now we don't get to cast anything because we have the Trinisphere going, but it'll be okay. In for 9. Bye. Okay. They could get a blocker here. I'm hoping it's Dryad, in which case I'll blast it. Teleria West tapped. That's a shame. Yeah, we can't cast the prison. I realize it's artifacts and lands. Getting used to the cards here. Greater Gargadon getting its name in. That was pretty sweet. Oh. A little harder with Trinisphere. This one can probably come out for the Trinisphere. But even so, playing her next turn, or just leaving up Mana Tithe, and then getting to do any of these again. Oh. Could downtick, honestly, and like blow up your Trinisphere and do weird things. Stompwire, thank you for the tier 1 sub. Welcome. Welcome, my friend. You get some sweet emotes to use all over that Twitch universe. Happy days. Playing some red-white lockout in Modern. Currently 3-1 in this league. Losing to a deck that plays Euro and Astrolabes, so that kind of countered us. We'll have to revisit that matchup a few more times. See what goes on there. Look at them little flexes. Alright, let's see what our final opponent is. We did run into 2 amulets as well. Let's keep that in mind. Alright, this hand looks okay. Not as much land destruction as we like. We're at the 4 lands again. I think you can honestly take 3 lands in your opener and you're okay. Especially if you're on the draw. Opponent does mulligan to at least 6 though. Let's see how this plays out for us. Losing our voice a little bit here. Alright, they kept 6. Excellent. Once upon a time. Amulet. Again. Oh, Noble Hierarch. That's not very good for us. That's not very good. This card could be bad. Alright, this looks like that Euro stuff again. We're doomed. We'll look like Burn for a moment. You just bought 4 foil Cracktheers? Hopefully you used our link. Hopefully. Or at least clicked our link before buying. Fingers crossed. Hopefully I do. Maybe you did it right. Who knows? Alright, Ramps doesn't play anything. Ooh, doggo. Whoa, the dog. Dog check. Gonna look like slowest burn ever. Tap land, no burn. What do we got going on here? Feels odd that they played a Noble Hierarch and didn't have a turn 2 here. That's the whole point of playing a Noble, so you can get your 3 drop down. Ooh. Our opponent is literally doing nothing. What's going on here? Dogfight, how's it going? Let's go ahead and suspend here. I want to leave the Mana Tithe open, and I want to look really strange to them. Hopefully they haven't figured out what the heck we are. But Noble into do nothing just seems suspicious. Oath of Nissa. Alright, so we're like Saheeli Cat combo, probably. More lands. It's not good for us. Heliod Coco? Maybe. Perhaps. Birds of Paradise. Apparently my opponent's only got giant things. Gargadon down 1. I guess I'll attempt a pillage here on the blue mana. That just feels like it's cat combo with that blue steam vents over there. Maybe they have a bunch of counters. I don't know. A Spell Queller. No. Get that out of here. Got him. Ha. Summoning sick bird. Poor bird. Opponent's jaw just dropped to the floor. Got Mana-Tides with the bird. Taking a snooze. Taking a snooze over there. Yeah, I don't know what this is. Spell color? ETBs? Bant colors? Obviously, they're probably going to try to attack me at some point. Just jamming Ghostly Prison here and then, like, sacrificing everything to Greater Gargadon. Swing? Pray they don't have Path? That seems bad. It seems like a way to lose the game real fast. 3 mana. There's a cat combo. Flicker Oath, probably. We're in deep trouble. Just kidding, we have Ghostly. Gonna jam. Whoa, whoa. Go back. Prismatic Vista found. Plays a Prismatic Vista. Yeah, it's 4 colors stiff. Alright, Gargadon's going down. Let's play a star. Play a star, crack the star. I guess I can just do it. Oh, no. If I do it that way, I don't get this. Another Flagstone. Play Flagstone here. We'll go ahead and play it Ghostly. We're at 7. So Ghostly prevents us from just dying out of nowhere. We can do a couple sacrifices with the Flagstone in itself. And then the Flagstone again. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 off of this, putting it to 3, down tick of 2, so I can sacrifice 2 other things. I don't know if it's worth it, though. Codal draws a card. The prison does, Freedy, you're right. Stops the combo here. No fast cats here. Cost too much. So we kind of have the anti-combo here. Sorry, I thought this was a human being down here. I was like, what's going on? No, it's like a sack of something. Cracks or Horizon Canopy, I do not advise that. Land. Followed up by... How much is the price of this deck? Medium price, 370. Saheela Ra. It's actually not too expensive. And I already have the Boom Busts. I don't know if that's the most expensive card. I doubt it. Copies Cat. Nice. Flicker's Oath. I like this value. Good stuff. Gets an Ice Fang Codal. This has Death Touch. This is awful for Gargadon, by the way. Can attack with something if they'd like to. They choose not to. Then sacrifice the Flagstones here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We could top deck a Boom Bust, so I'm going to go ahead and hold here. Before doing any more sacrifices. Top deck a Pillage. What's up, Odysseus? It's going. It is going. Alright. So I guess I just pillage. They're going to keep getting value out of this Oath of Nissa. It's going to be frustrating, to say the least. But I guess I can pillage one of the snow things to turn off Ice Fang here. Doesn't really matter. They have the Noble and the Bird of Paradise here. Should be probably playing my land down on the off chance that they have a mana leak. So part of me wants to just dump Greater Gargadon here, knowing full well that they probably just have a path. Oh, they could play another snake currently. They could. Let's go ahead and draw in case I draw Crack the Earth here. Maybe Crack the Earth Flagstones. Alright, Ichor Wellspring's not a bad card for next turn. We'll pass turn. It is a bit of a tricky situation. Probably just play Ice Fang. They don't have many lands. It's buying us a lot of time. So how do we win this? We need to find like Chandra, right? Besides this Scry, that's pretty much the only option they had. We are Delta damage. Island. They currently could attack with 3 things if they wanted to. One beef enchantment versus the cats. Yeah, he could attack with 1. Exalted it up. This is certainly a very interesting match, to say the least. Many other decks would have been comboed at this point. We get to sit here and kind of do a few things. So Exalted trigger here, attacks for 2, puts me to 15. Plus this is a bolt a turn. It's a reasonable clock. I have a feeling they just have that path. Do they have a counter, though? Do they have a counter, though? Do I have 4 Sacred Foundries? I've got to assume I do. I want to so bad. They could have a Spell Queller, but it won't happen against the bust. And with the bust on the stack, I could set Greater Gargadon up in such a way that it'll come off next turn. Let's blow up some lands. Let's hold priority. Let's hold some priority here. Alright, do I want to do anything with Greater Gargadon here? You could sacrifice these 3 and just set it up. I think I want to set it up for next turn. We're going to go for it. We're going to set it up for next turn. Triggers. Go get a land. Maybe I should have set it up 1 less so I could cash in my Ichor Wellspring. Maybe a minor detail there. Needed to do 1 less probably for Ichor Wellspring. Slight minor detail we should have adjusted. All good though. All good. Yeah, I wanted to sack Wellspring. We're off by 1. Zarukai's got the fine line for having more experience than us with the list. Happens. Land drop. Land drop. We even mentioned sacrificing Ichor Wellspring. I went one too deep with this Wellspring. All good, all good. So these will not have Death Touch. We're all lagging. It's okay. My brain's lagging today. What are we playing against? A Defunct Pioneer deck? No, it's the 4-color cat combo. It's probably about tier 3-ish. Alright, Saheeli Rai does Saheeli Rai things. Ticking up, putting us down some life here. I still firmly believe that they have a Path to Exile over there. Greater Gargadon's going to just eat it. Do they want to attack with anything? Choosing not to. Suspend comes off here. At least we get to test this. Would be a little bit better to be doing it off this. Let's go ahead and get in. Path. Yep. There's that path. Alright, we got our land. That's all good. Let's go ahead and jam an Ichor Wellspring here. Flagstone, pass turn. Alright. A decent turn. A decent turn. Go ahead and F6. Bye, Gargadon. Opponents found lands. They can flicker Feldar Guardian if they want on the Oath or on a Codal to draw. Whichever they feel like. He still has the better clock, yep. He will beat us faster. He could attack for 2, but he should just attack for a singleton here. Does the same damage. Duplicates Guardian here. Flickering Oath, probably. I'm going to go look for some more cards here. Might just look for a land. Gets a Spell Queller. That's a really annoying card, because now that stops our win conditions for the most part. We should be 1 deeper with the Wellspring, but we misplayed a little earlier. Can attack if they want to leave Spell Queller open. Currently our Pillages and Molten Rains aren't the best. Plays another bird. Spell Queller, unknown card in hand. That's not a bad card. It will prevent a Spell Queller from hurting us, but at this point we don't have a target for our Stone Rain effects. I think it's GG. It might be. We will see. He's got too many chickens. I could top deck another Ghostly Prison. Can't remove their Spell Queller when they counter it, but I could play that and then top deck a Chandra or a Johnny and kill the Spell Queller to make another Ghostly Prison. Then they need 4. They barely have enough. Obviously, the Saheeli Rai would then kill me over time. Leaving Spell Queller open. Land drop, pass turn. I think we have a sequence of things that could win it for us, although very minor. Scries. He has so many ways to just continue to have mana. We need to bring in all of our bolts and our helixes. If we do that, we should be in a much better shape, removing all the little ones from play. Probably attacks for another 2 in the air. Go ahead and F6. I don't believe they're going to play anything. They're leaving Spell Queller open. It's a shame we don't have like an Anger or 2 in the sideboard. Alright, Sunbake's a redraw. Go ahead and cash that in. Any more Obliterates? Chromatic Star is a redraw. Make red mana. Crack the Earth is technically a redraw. So we'll crack the earth. Opponent's like, what? What? It's a redraw. You have oddly relaxing way of talking through your lines. It's like MTG ASMR. Nifty. Ooh. Here's a way we get back into this game. I have to pass because they have Flooded Strand, Misty, and the bird. They can still cast the Spell Queller. We're going to wait and see if I can get them after an attack. If they attack, they'll only have 2. If they don't attack, they'll have 4. So we might have to pause 1 or 2 more turns. We'll see what happens. This might... We might get them here. It reminds me of listening to Lockpicking Lair a lot. Lockpicking Lair? What? He might not have more lands. I'm not sure I want to try that just yet. All right, so here we're not going to have an attack. We're going to have the Johnny. Oh gosh, can I do it all? 1, 2, 3, 4. Or 1, 2, 3, 4. Mana Tithe and Molten Rain, but I have to shock for it. Yeah, I can a Johnny and Tithe, but what am I doing? Do I need a down tick to like save my life total some? Just to continue to knock them off land so the Ghostly Prison's more active. Well, I'm going to go ahead and play a Johnny. They don't currently have lands I can hit, but they're going to when I play this a Johnny. If anything, I might tap this Noble Hierarch down if they allow this to resolve here. See? I'm about to have a land to go hit. It'll be my land. Let's see how many lands they have. Fetch, fetch. Spell Queller showing up. Mana Tithe it. So like I can blow up a Noble here. I took this up to 2. What does that gain me? I feel like if I... That's what I'm thinking. I can offset some pings for some turns here. And attempt to blow up the lands, and if I get one of these creatures, then another Ghostly is pretty big. I probably don't want to shock here. Let's go ahead and shoot a Noble here. I don't believe I want to shock. You want to take them off a land as well? I guess if I take them off a land here as well, I'm shocking in, basically undoing everything. But then they won't be able to Queller me. I don't feel like shock's necessary, because they're going to just use Feldar Guardian to go look for a land. I'm going to not shock here. It may be incorrect. They're going to attack a Johnny probably, and then to do so they'll have to... They won't have to pay for this. So that's kind of a reason to go ahead and cash in a Johnny. We're forgetting Ghostly Prison doesn't protect my Johnny. Basically, if I don't down tick, this dies anyway. If we get another prison, we're in good shape. We just have to deal with a Saheeli, which probably kills us, if we're really honest. Another Noble. Ugh. They might just come at my face now. Come at my space for 3. Nope, goes for a Johnny. Okay. Saves us a little bit here. Man, I'm wishing I had an anger. Where's our sweepers? We don't have sweepers in this build. We're in game 1, by the way. Let's crack the earth. At this point, I've used up all my sacred foundries, I believe. Yeah, so it doesn't really matter what I get here. We'll get rid of a Headrock. They get rid of an Ice Fang. We'll go ahead and blow up a snow-covered forest. Pass turn. They still have 4 mana here. Oh, Queller. Ah, nice. New plan is time them out. So that doesn't really work in paper. You have to be cognizant of your clock. It'll definitely play factoring in here a bit, but keep that in mind. The fact that we're this far with them game 1 is probably a good sign. Ghostly's good, Lightning Bolt and Helix will be good. The deck list is the bottom one. The other 2 are there because people ask me about my other Red Prison lists. Pyrohemia? Tag Zarukai with that. The other thing that's interesting is they're at 13. We haven't really hit them with much. Pays the 2 here. Double pumped here. Goes to 4. We're at 4. Alright. We'll allow them to kill me. It was a good fight. Well fought. Alright. So. Sideboard. Nice. They had another Oath of Nissa. We'll get a little more info here. They have a Teferi. That's good to know. It's actually extremely good to know. So they are full on the cat combo here. If we had a Torpor, we'd be in great shape. This is good to know. All right. So they're 4-cat combo, protecting with Teferi and using Saheeli and Guardian to combo off. Pretty simple. We don't have anything for walkers, I don't think. All right. Suppression Field is going to come in here. Lightning Helix. Lightning Bolt. Ghostly Prison. Potentially Cage, but I don't think I want to be playing that. Greater Gargadon's not very good. We're winning through a Chandra's or a Johnny's for the most part. Greater Gargadon's just going to get destroyed. It's kind of rough. Mana Tithe feels really weak here. Even Crack the Earth isn't very good. Probably trim one of those. The Boom Bust can be trimmed. Remember, the Lightning Bolts and Helixes are going to be those. Trinisphere, not so much. Not so much. They have a lot of ramp and creatures. We need to remove all the problem cards if we can. We're going to trim one Chandra Acolyte, I think, because we're bringing in Suppression Field. We can trim one Ichor and probably just one Pillage. Bring all this in. Yeah, we're cutting Tithe. Then a Crack, a Boom, Chandra because of the Suppression, an Ichor, and a Pillage. These all seem fine to cut. They'll still be playing around Tithe. Yeah, exactly. We got them. Nom, nom, nom. Is there anything else? The Wear and Tear is not really good for a Oath of Nissa. I don't think we want to be doing that. A lot of just removal. Yep, I think it's just going to be all removal. All right, we'll submit. We'll see. This one could be a very difficult matchup. They have a lot of little creatures that'll matter. Board wipes would be good. Anger of the Gods would be good. Just have to play around it. All right, we're going to keep this because we can repeat with Chandra here. The 2 spells in hand. I don't mind having to bolt against a bird. Noble Hierarch deck. Seems reasonable here. We'll see how it plays out. 10-23 for the win. It's like 9 o'clock. What? Huh? What are you on, Beats? Alright. Snow Covered Plains, Astrolabe. Well, that wasn't exactly what I thought was going to be the first thing out of their hand there. Alright. Go ahead and shock in. We're going to go ahead and suspend. We're shocking so that I can use this lightning bolt. I don't know if I'm going to need it, but in case. Cool. All situated here. Oath of Nissa. Oath of Nissa, find a land, play a noble, bolt the noble, pillage a land. Temple Garden. Oh, the timeout plan. Gotcha. Practically there. Bird. Blow up the bird. Gonna pillage next. Gargadon down. Let's go ahead and pillage a land. And pass turn. We can Chandra downtick lightning bolt a creature. We can Chandra 0, create some elementals as well. I don't think I'm going to cash in the flagstones for the Gargadon yet, so I'm just going to F6 through my turn. This is to avoid drawing like a boom bust and not being able to cast it. Plays Wooded, cracks it in. Plays an Astrolabe to draw a card. We have two lands here. Gargadon. Shall we continue? I think I just want to boom. I could totally play Chandra here, though, and try to do 2 things next turn. 2 booms next turn. And just, like, be able to do more. Is that greedy? Should I just boom now? Two, three. 1, 2, 3 next turn, and this. I can boom next turn. I can Chandra downtick and boom next turn. We'll take them off green. It seems to be an important color for them. Alright, we have to keep in mind that we are completely out of Sacred Foundries. Floodstrand. Greater Gargadon coming down. 1, 2, 3. Let's see if we can get this Chandra down. If we can, we'll definitely consider this boom again. Blow up. I don't mind blowing up one of my lands for this. Looks like they might have something for this. They have an Aether Gust. I think I can top this because I have the Sunbaked Canyon. I can go ahead and draw it and then shock in. We still get one more deeper. I don't think there's anything wrong with doing that. Go ahead and cash this in here. Greater Gargadon's ticking down anyway, becoming a threat. Let's see here. We'll just land this. The way that they've F6'd here, we're going to go ahead and... Oh, that's right. I can't boom again. I'm cool like that, guys. So cool like that. I forget that it doesn't like the boom, or the boom side of boom bust. All right, anyway, we went ahead and used Chandra's here. Getting in, getting the damage down. Got 2 Greater Gargadons coming off the suspends here soon. My opponent's missed some land drops here. We're looking okay. I can go ahead and pillage one of these. Ooh, alright. Let's go ahead and pillage. Attempt to pillage the island here. What's interesting is I have this suppression field. It's kind of weird to play it right after because then Chandra's difficult to use, but we don't have much left, so it's probably worth it to just slam it after. I missed 2 Gargadon sacrifices? How did I miss 2 Gargadon sacrifices? Gonna go to sideboard. I don't think I missed 2. Off the tokens. Oh my gosh, this can sacrifice creatures. Oh my gosh. The synergies are there and we didn't even know it. We're playing Magic like we're in the future. I missed it. I just got excited. I attacked for 2. They have Path. They're about to Path my Gargadon anyway. No, the reason is so I can rebuy things. This hand's great. We're gonna keep this. The whole point of me running it is so I can rebuy Molten Rain. That's why I'm running it. It is not the reason I'm running the card. It's reason 1, not 2. Fair enough. All right, fine. We've discovered more that the deck offers us. It's getting fine-tuned. All right, snow-covered forest here. They can play an Astrolabe if they've got it. They've got Oath of Nissa. Opponent mulled as well. It's not very good for them. Finds a land. That's important. All right. Inspiring Vantage out. That way I can bolt something past turn. Flooded Strands. Looks like there's no follow-up. Go ahead and play the Sacred Foundry tapped. Past turn. The bad news is I won too fast. They conceded too fast. All right, opponent's found another land here. We're gonna see Teferi. Gonna see nothing, it appears. I sort of hate the position we're in. I don't think the Molten Rain's very worthwhile here. I'm just gonna pass back to our opponent holding both Helix and Lightning Bolt up. Teferi's a scary thing. Them finally getting to use some of these is good, though, for us. I'm going to wait on this Ice Fang Odal. Don't need to worry about killing that just this moment. Temple Garden's a great target for Molten Rain. A little more of a versatile land. Does 2 to them as well. I could just start going upstairs. Seems like a terrible idea. Let's go ahead and pass the turn. See if I can maybe land this Chandra Acolyte here. This way I have the Bolt open and it looks like I have Mana Tithe as well. I'm thinking they have a Spell Queller. If they have Aether Gust, that's fine. Alright. This we can go ahead and put on top. I'm going to go ahead and safely put a star out and pass turn. Shouldn't die to anything crazy right here. We're putting it on top so that I get to redo this. Play again. We'll test if they have the Aether Gust again. Deciding to cast something, it looks like. I get to cash in the star, so it's not really on top, it's 1 down. Teferi here. Bounce star? Does not. Okay, so we can Lightning Helix that if we'd like to. We can also just Chandra and then attack it and then bolt it as well. Let's go ahead and start with a Chromatic Star to see what's underneath the Chandra. A Pillage. Okay. Alright. So I don't know if I really want this Teferi to be around anymore. I think it's a safe Chandra here. Attack and then bolt it. Well, it's gonna not be a problem here in a second. I'm gonna go ahead and shock in here. Swing with 2. That's a fairy. We'll go ahead and Helix it. That way I have just a lightning bolt. It's a little easier to cast in the future. I don't think that 1 life that I lost because of Helix is gonna matter. We'll see. There are 3 lands here still. I can probably safely pillage something or Molten Rain now. We'll get a Ghostly soon to be down. The other thing is that if they attack, or sorry, if they Spell Queller, I could Chandra down to use the Helix as well. They decide to go after Chandra. Alright. Let's lead with a Molten Rain. We're not playing around a Mana Leak, because I don't think I need to here. Spell Queller. Let's go ahead and bolt the Spell Queller. I wonder if I cash in to kill this Codal here. It's not even a cash in yet. Why not go for his lands? I'm guessing that was a little bit earlier. I think it's just because I wanted to get Teferi off so I can interact like this. This will be interesting to see what this is. This might be a path. They're going to path their own Spell Queller here to get another land. This is kind of interesting. Alright, I still get the Molten Rain. I still take out the Temple Garden here. I think, actually, I could have taken out the snow-covered island. Alright, we're going to go ahead and down tick here. We're going to go get our Lightning Helix. We're going to Helix the Ice Fang. This way I get more value out of Chandra probably over the long term. Go ahead and pass the turn. Should have gotten that island. We'll call that a punt. Fatigue. Questioning everything. There's a Guardian. Alright, Guardian's fine here. Flickers. Maybe we get rewarded. What's scary here is they could combo, so we probably have to get the Ghostly Prison into play. I can Ghostly and Pillage, luckily. Birds of Paradise. Okay. So I think here I've got a Ghostly and Pillage. So let's go ahead and Ghost. Let's go ahead and Pillage the blue. Let's go up and pass turn, hoping they don't get a Noble here. Next turn we could crack using the Chandra tokens. It's an option. It's interesting interaction there. Crack doesn't probably hit too much though, because they have Oath and Bird. Like them gingers? Gingers. Steam Vents. Alright. They didn't have to do that to get a Sahelian anyway. Oath of Nissa allows everything. You think +1 Chandra is better? Next turn? Possibly. It's kind of a weird like 0/+1 that happens. So yeah. Next turn, possibly. Just depends. Depends where we're at. Looks like they're gonna use Feldar Guardian here to use Oath of Nissa. 8 rack for the win. Thank you for the follow. And if you like, by the way, okay, they can't attack this just yet. Oh yes, they can. So we're not gonna get to use Chandra here again. So we'll just have to win with our Crackly Earth. Maybe on time at this point. We'll see though. Noble Hierarch. They get him for 2 here. They have to pay for that. Silly opponent. Alright. Chandra's dead. Okay, so we have a pillage and we have a crack the earth. So I suppose I'm gonna pillage this and just crack and see what they do. Running out of things to do here. If opponent combos with too little time on the clock to manually win, would you concede? Probably. But until they remove Ghostly Prison, I will not concede. Because I could easily still find a way to win this by locking them out of attacking me and getting Chandra or Johnny down. So those are options still. Not great options, but I still have outs in the deck is what I'm kind of implying. We'll go ahead and pass the turn here. Prison doing work. Nice Fang Codal. We have a bunch of these Ghostly Prisons. Like, if I get just running Ghostly Prisons, then they'll just never be able to attack me either. Now, the Saheeli could potentially kill me, but if I get, say, an Ajani then it gets interesting with the whole Ajani kind of preventing the Saheeli from really doing a lot of damage. WOG? I don't know what WOG is. Hello, Viridian. What's up? How you doing? Wrath of God. Yeah, Wrath of God would probably be good. Maybe better than one or two of these helixes. Attacks for 2 here. Alright, star here. We get to replay. See if we can find anything. Removal would be fine. Helix is reasonably good here. I think this is worth firing it off at something. Let's try to kill the Noble. They have a Codal, or not a Codal, a Spell Queller. And we'll put that on top. I know it seems weird to put it on top, but it gains me like a turn and a half. Gains me a turn and a half. This one's going to come down to the wire for their time. And they get a Teferi. So they can play the Teferi and now bounce the Ghostly, and now they can combo out. Let me see if that's what you want to do. Or no, this has been upticked, so it can't combo currently. And then I have the Helix to hit the Teferi. I don't know if they have 2 Teferis in their deck or not. What else you got? Another bird. So we'll go ahead and remove the Teferi. Play the Ghostly, pass turn. If they show me another Teferi here, I will concede to it. I want to ask whether I could cash in the extra life donation deck thing sometime later this week. Didn't get a list until later. Go timeout plan. So if they're able to bounce this, I will concede. But they've got to show me a Teferi. Because I could get another Helix here. Gain a few more turns. Ghostly, Molten, a couple other things. This looks like what it'll come down to. Pretty tight game, though. Pretty tight game. Oh, Ichor Wellspring. He technically can kill me here. Let's see if they get all the triggers in here. I don't think they're going to. It was tight, so that's a win for them. But I'll take it because it helps fund the stream. Very tight game, though. Very tight. It does give us a 4-1, but you could argue that is a easy, well, not easy. It's a 3-2. So one thing to watch in a game like this is, although we can take it to time here, when you're in paper, you have to decide at some point whether or not to concede and move on. So there's this weird dynamic on Magic Online where you get this opportunity to say, hey, if you didn't play at a reasonable speed, you don't get it. Now this is basically down to exactly the seconds when they attacked. So it's a little nuance. It is a mechanic of the game though. I've had people tell me not to worry about it. I feel half and half. We stopped them from comboing, and so our prison element worked. You could argue we were going for a draw in paper, but they are things to consider. Be mindful of the clock. If you believe you're truly out or your odds are low, consider conceding to preserve the time so that you have a chance to win in games 2 and games 3. Got a 4-1 though. We'll say it with an asterisk. 3-2 for the night on this league. I think we'll go ahead and try to run another league here. What do we think about this list? Pretty sweet. I really like the Chandra Acolyte of Flame. She's been doing fabulous. I think Greater Gargadon's been excellent. I think we have a few chances to tighten up plays with Ichor Wellspring and Greater Gargadon. I would personally like probably one more threat in the deck to give it just that little extra oomph. For the most part, we're just blowing up lands. Let's go ahead and switch these out a little bit. If we look at it a little bit like this, we have 16 land destruction spells. 17, 18 sort of, 19, 20-ish sort of, with the Ajani and the Chandras. So that in combination with just having just these kind of 7-ish cards, it's a little interesting. It can be a little bit tight. But it's red-white lock in Modern. It's doing its thing. It's doing it. I think a sweeper would be really good, Zale. I agree. A Wrath of God, a Clarion would be harder to cast, and Anger would probably be completely fine. I could see taking one Bolt out, potentially one Cage, or even the Trinisphere, and playing one, maybe. Suppression Field didn't seem to be necessary, although against a control matchup, we can see where that would be beneficial. We did play against the Euro list, so a few nuances to consider. A few nuances, but hey, the list is here, exclamation deck list, or deck list, or in the description down below at YouTube. Sweet. Cool. It was a blast.